What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tears for Fears, and we're going back to Everybody Loves a Happy Ending. Once again, big shout out to Philip as well as to all the folks involved in this deep dive, and as ever, I appreciate your patience as we go through this among numerous other deep dives. But yeah, we're back to Everybody Loves a Happy Ending. I did appreciate the confirmation, and indeed, I looked at the track listing in my reactions, and then I looked on Discogs. I was like, wait, why is it out of order? Oh, that's right. I just skipped over a tune, and I had to go back because people mentioned this. So I was briefly confused by that. But we are up to the next tune, which is The Devil. My first thought when I looked at it, there's a hard house tune I've had for a very long time. One of the first records I bought, 99, 98 or 99, I forget which year. But either way, there's a sample where it's DEVIL, The Devil. So when I looked at it, my brain read it in that sample form. But either way, it's a concept which, not to be Joseph Campbell, but it shows up in numerous religious cultures around the world under similar types of names. In some cases, there's literally a cultural evolution or connection between different articulations of the idea. In other cases, they're different concepts, but they speak to the same type of malevolent spiritual entities. Either way, in this rendering, we're speaking, and especially with using the definitive article the, we're speaking to some, main or central form of evil or, spiritual corruption. Either way, I wonder whether, we're dealing with a more everyday usage or a, figurative or metaphorical usage. I would expect on some level it to relate to more than just the straightaway concept itself. In any case, let's find out what I can hear on a first listen. This is Tears for Fears. The track is The Devil, and it's from the 2004 album Everybody Loves a Happy Ending. Or it would be if this was on. Okay. And now, away we go.
The devil, take me now, before I'm ushered out, 'cause you are like me, but I can but I can't hide from you. Prisoners of course, taken by force to smother my streams, to blind my dreams, 'cause I can die.
sounds like when you hit the kill switch on a record, but certainly if you have techniques, and even, you know, lower quality record players, they don't take that long to slow down. So it's a, you know, extra long, almost comically long, slow down, like, death of the Sonics, which, you know, I can't die, I can't hide. What was it like? It's basically sounded like it was saying at the beginning that, you know, he's like the devil and he was waiting for the devil to take him. So yeah, I feel like it's maybe more overt than I expected, but I still feel like, you know, there's some metaphorical understanding afoot. And ultimately, I did enjoy the vocals in a couple moments in particular. Lots of cool little sounds, like, you know, that sort of scratching or rattling, whatever it was at the beginning. There were some really cool sounds in one of the, like, sections before it came back around to the big chorus, and then at the end, again, there were some interesting, like, you know, outside the main sound. There was like it was actually maybe the guitar, but there was this, like, layer that was sort of like stretching or scratching, but it was melodic. So again, maybe it was guitar, but part of the song, and part of the reason maybe I couldn't hear things, like, clearly to identify them anyway, is because it felt like the song was sort of in this storm, but, like, maybe not in the eye of the storm, because it wasn't, like, calm, but it felt like there were some interesting things going on in the middle of, like, you know, big drums and you know, big guitar chords and so on. So it was a really interesting blend of sounds, is, I guess, the short, concise way to say what I'm trying to ramble my way toward. Nevertheless, a really cool tune, and one that, again, if I were actively listening to them at the time, I would have been really excited about this album, and I would have enjoyed it going through it, to the point where, like, you know, I imagine for fans of, you know, the group going back to the early days, it would have been an exciting thing. And then it's like a question of, like, well, is it good? Because, you know, there are punk bands that I'm fond of where, like, a crucial songwriter, one of the guitarists, like, left for a while, and then he came back a few years later, and then it was like, oh, well, okay, cool, but what's the album sound like? And it was great, and even though some people were like, it's not quite what they did before, it's definitely, you know, heading back in that direction, and so on. So again, as I listen to this album, I do, or, you know, all the deep dives I do, I try on some level to, like, you know, put myself into the shoes of someone who would have been listening to it, like, when it came out, especially because for a lot of these deep dives, I'm literally going through it chronologically. So even though it's on a very condensed timeline relative to, you know, fans originally going through it or experiencing it in real time, it is still, in some ways, like a chronological journey. Nevertheless, a cool track, and one in which, again, I like the particular blend and combination of sounds. So I will look to the next track, so I make sure I don't skip one again. Secret World, it follows this, then Killing with Kindness, Lady Bird, Last Days on Earth. So all sound very intense, or, you know, very significant. Either way, shout out once again to Philip for sharing. Shout out to Kim again. Someone who shows up in all the different places over my channel, but I will never forget, you know, that you originally came from the Tears for Fears deep dive, so shout out to Roland and Kurt for that. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.